just look at the beautiful here. Isn't it awesome? So we've got, this is 2 footprints. Underneath is a front right, and that's what you can see the toes so clearly is the rear right landing on top of it. And right there is front with a rear on top, front with a rear on top, front with a rear on top. So this is a walking gait, a diagonal walking gait. So there's 2 prints, 2 prints, 2 prints, 2 prints, 2 prints, 2 prints, and it's just beautiful. I've never been so fortunate to see such clarity in the toes showing up and such consistent, beautiful trail. So let's just go up close, and I'm gonna, as smoothly as I can, I'm gonna go through it here. Just look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? And you can kind of see on the right side there, here, let me hold this. Right there, there's a bit of a toe of the front foot that's underneath, and then the other one is sitting on top. So very beautiful. We got the 2 in the front, the 2 lobes of the front there, and 1, 2, 3 lobes in the back, which is cat family, and this nice C shape in the negative space in between the toes. And really beautiful, no claws present. Let's just walk through a few of these as we go to the next one. Here's toes underneath showing a little bit. Gorgeous little prints. This one's a little fuzzier. And here again, Colleen was pointing out the right side, his rear foot seems to be stepping just a little bit inside of the front foot. So there's always seems to be a toe over here showing. So the rear foot, which is landing on top of the front foot, is inward a little bit. And we're wondering if that's, it's appearing in quite a few trails here. We're wondering if that's an injury, or perhaps, looking down the trail, I'm also wondering if maybe he's looking to the right or looking to the left, because causing a head turn will cause a bit of a sway in the back end and how the back hind prints land on the front prints. But as we go up, it's just a gorgeous trail, and it runs here for almost 1 kilometer down our driveway. Oh, and then here, so here's another one. Now this is on the left side, and the rear print has landed a little bit to the right of the front print that's under it. So I'm wondering if that is evidence of the head moving this way and that. See here again, there's a 5th toe showing, but that toe is from the front print that's underneath the rear print or hind print, which is on top. Here's a real beauty of a track, and I'm just going to set the measuring tape in here so you can see the size of these guys. So the true track is about, the true track is about 3.5 inches lengthwise, and then widthwise about 3. So this is a rear print that we're seeing here on top of a front print, so it's a little smaller than the front prints. And we've been following these all the way down our driveway here, and it's just a pristine, perfect trail. And the good news is we have a trail camera here. So we probably have a picture of this guy on our camera making this trail. It's come out onto the road and it's now underneath these tire or vehicle tracks here. So the trail is still here. It hasn't exited right or left. So we're going to carry on until we sign cut for where it's going. Just wanted to show you, look at the beautiful sun over the bog here. Here's classic boreal forest in Canada.
Last day of 2021.
Last day of 2021. It's New Year's Eve. And it's quite beautiful. And it's also, we think it's about 33 degrees below zero. We know close to here it is, but our cell reception's poor. We can't tell exactly what it is. It's supposed to get down to 38 tonight. So it's cold. Welcome to the boreal forest. Back in the thick boreal forest. And here he's walking through in here. And so, yeah, it's getting dark. We didn't bring headlamps with us. We were just out on a walk, and so we're going to run out of daylight soon. Boy, it is really fantastic back in here. That's the beauty of following these animal trails, as they take you to places that are quite spectacular, like where we are right now. And yeah, it's definitely cold, but beautiful. The air is so crisp and clean. Amazing. All right, so it's day 2. We spent the last night out here, and we're picking up the trail. We're heading back to where we left off, and we're on the road, and we've seen a new set of trails that appeared through the night. This came last night. 1, 2, 3. So this is a new trail on the road as we're going to pick up where we left off yesterday, and it's coming this way. And it's cat again, it's lynx. And the lighting's not as good today, but in this case the toes are not defined, and there's a lot of fur in the trail, or in the track. Let's look at this one. See, it's just not that defined. The toes aren't really obvious in there, in contrast to the one we were following, where the toes are pretty clearly made or marked. You can see there's quite a lot of furry, indistinct foot marking there compared to what we're on. So we're going back to this trail. We're going to pick it up in the bush down the road here a ways and carry on with it and see what else we discover. So here's animal number 2 that we discovered here this morning, and furrier, smaller prints. And here we just want to show, because he's walking right here, so track, and then as we follow the trail he slows down and he goes from a walk to is this understep or overstep? He's really slowed right now, and he's taking his time. Slow. Look at all the footprints much closer together. Those are now individual footprints instead of double registering footprints. And then back onto his walk, and away he goes. And then it's obliterated by truck tracks. We'll compare the trail width or trail length with what we saw yesterday. Oh, and it moved. Sorry, everybody. Okay, so at least in this case, this section of trail, it's at 43. I'm not quite exact, but around 43 inches. Because there's so much fur in the trail, it's hard to get obvious on the toe pads, but 3 inches wide, and a bit of a guess here, 3 by 3 again. Yesterday we followed down our driveway out onto the main road. Here's the main road, and then this cat following the road, and right now we're about here. And then yesterday we went into the bush here. This is all bush. And we stopped there because it was getting dark. And then we went home. Today we walked here and we realized when we got to here that there's now a second animal, as we've been talking about, going this way. And so we're heading back. The second one's going this way and heading in. All right, so we've got a nice transition from one gate to another here. We're thinking. So there's left side prints, so front, rear. Front and rear on the left side, front, rear on the right side. Front, rear on the left side, front, rear on the right side. So we're thinking this is a trot based on here to here. Let's look at that distance. It's about 42. And based on another video that we did on estimating animal size, if this is a trot, we divide it into thirds. Because it's a trot, we can estimate roughly that the body size of this animal is about here. So here's the head, and there's its back. So bum to head, right about there, which makes sense if this is indeed a trot, and we use our 2/3 rule. Now just moving down the trail, we notice that it changes from a trot right here. It goes from quite a bit spaced again. We're looking at almost 40 inches. And then all of a sudden it's a lot closer. So here's a front and rear left side, front, rear, right side, front, rear, left side, front, rear, right side, front, rear, left side. But they're closer. So let's now look at this. Draw a line on the left side there, and we put this down, and we're now at 27. Back there it was 43, which is up here. So that was a trot back there. This is now a walk. This is the best example of confirming the distance or body size of an animal when it transfers from a trot to a walk. So here again, if we look at this as a walk, so there's the front left shoulder where my fist is, and here's the front or the rear hip right about there. So that's basically from here to here of the animal, and it allows us to trace that animal on the walk. So very cool transition from trot, slows down, the spacing in the stride shortens from back there 43 inches up here to, what was it, 27 inches. And if we just look closely here, so it's still walk, and then now it's stretching back out again. Now we're back out to almost 40 inches, and now he's picked up speed and off he goes. Look at this little corridor, so he is heading right through there, just jink, and the search continues. I'm really hoping that we're going to find a chase or a kill site or beds or who knows what along the way. There's something has happened here, so he's moving all over the place. So I've got him going this way, but then he comes back this way, goes back in there, turns, and then there's a bit of a burst of speed, or maybe not a burst of speed, climbs up over there, knocks the snow off of that tree and heads that way. So we have to slow right down here because he's zigzagged and moved all through here. She, and we don't want to disrupt the trail by walking on it and then further complicating it and confusing it. So he came in there, right, and right there's a little bit of pee. It dropped some urine, and then it stopped right in here, changed direction, and then it started going this way. And I think this picks up over where I was, over there. It comes over. So he did a bit of a zig and a zag through here investigating this and that. Maybe there was a snowshoe hare or a potential prey in this area, and it kind of...
My guess is this is one of his regular haunts because I found an old track too.
Oh, okay.
So I think this is a place he regularly comes to. Maybe it is.
So in this print here, look at that. There's his toes, but on this angle you can see there's a little claw mark and a little claw mark. And the snow is deep, so it could be that the claws are still retracted, but the little stubs are showing in the wall of that snow. Or maybe the claws came out a little bit. Maybe he's, I don't know what he was thinking, but perhaps the claws are coming out. I don't think so. I think it's more a fact of the wall of the track just showing where the little stubs are that the claws retract into. And then he's heading off this way. There he is. And he steps over top of a red squirrel hole or den underneath the ground, winter den underground. Carries on through here. And he's heading up. Right through there. There's his little window through the trees. The trail is now crossing further. It's heading further and further away from our property. And I think we're going to leave it at this time because we kind of got to get home.
We spent about 4 hours trailing him.
Yeah. We didn't cover that much distance. I have a map to attach to this video to show where we picked up the trail and how far we followed it. And you'll see it's kind of cool because it follows edges. It follows edges, so it knows its area. It my lips are cold because it's so cold outside. It purposefully traveled down the road, went straight to an area it knew that was good hunting grounds, carved into the woods, and then followed edges of bog and forest land. And the trail shows that. It demonstrates that all the way through. And cool. How often do you get to track mountain lions in central Alberta? Not very often, at least not in my tracking lifetime. And how about in yours?
Well, no, we're only up.
Only at our farm.
Only
very
at our farm,
occasionally.
yeah. It was wonderful. It was an incredible opportunity. Nature gave us a wonderful lesson. The first day we get the cougar tracks. The second day we get the lynx tracks right beside the cougar tracks.
And a picture of both.
So
yeah,
we could
cool.
Do an analysis right there with them side by side. So it was really cool. And as we followed his trail, when we got into the dense bush, we could see that he had made his track several times. So he had been following the same route. So his tracks were overlaid onto his older tracks. So this is definitely a route he uses. His regular stomping grounds.
Now so, we know more about our property now and where we should and shouldn't walk, especially with small children.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe with people you don't like.
Yeah. Right.
Just make sure that they're slower than you.
Keep tracking everybody.
And have fun.
Big thank you to David Moskowitz for his excellent book and how it has helped to shed some light on this little trailing adventure of ours. Here we have Mountain Lion, clean, crisp, clear toes and palm pads. And right across the page, side by side, we have Canada Lynx with a lot of fur in the prints. So when Colleen and I saw these two side by side, it was like, yep, that's another confirmation for us. So thank you, David Moskowitz, for that. Bombadita, 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 happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling on till then. Who cares about the clouds when look, snowy weather. Look at the deer scrapes there.
Something as long as we're together.
As long as we're together. 2, 3. Following trails. with you till we meet at the lynx den.
Yeah.
At the
Friends. I was gonna say till we meet our animal
till
friends.
we meet our animal friends.
Yeah.
Da, da, da.
Whoa, yeah.
Are we lost?
Absolutely. No, I'm right here.
Yeah.
You're right there.